Good evening. I would like to call the Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 Housing and Redevelopment Authority meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections to this evening's agenda? Hearing and seeing none, this meeting, I'm going to backtrack. This meeting will be held in person and online.
I don't hear anybody yet. Sorry.
This meeting will be held in person and online. People may participate electronically as permitted by Minnesota statutes. For this meeting, HRA Commissioner Wooten will be participating remotely. Therefore, we'll need to take roll call votes. So could we have the roll call for attendance?
Chair Wooten.
Present.
Present. Commissioner Wooten, present.
Chair Huhin.
Present.
Commissioner Moore.
Present.
Commissioner Doblinger.
Present.
Commissioner Issei.
Present.
Perfect. So now, one second.
And Commissioner Mueller.
Commissioner Mueller is just walking in and she will.
Present.
Wonderful. Moving on now to the approval of the agenda. There were no additions or corrections to this evening's agenda, so we'd be looking for a motion to approve the Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Doblinger
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Issei to approve this evening's agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote?
Aye, Commissioner Wooten.
Chair Huhin.
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Muir.
Aye.
Commissioner Issei.
Aye.
And Commissioner Doblinger.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item 3, approval of the minutes. Item 3.1, the November 26, 2024 HRA board meeting minutes. Is there any additions or corrections to the November 26 meeting minutes? Hearing and seeing none, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the November 26, 2024 HRA board meeting minutes. We have a motion by Commissioner Mueller
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Issei to approve the November 26 HRA board meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, could we please have the roll call vote?
Chair Wooten.
Aye.
Chair Huhin.
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Muir. And Commissioner Issei.
Aye.
Commissioner Doblinger.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item 3.2, the December 10th, 2024 HRA board meeting minutes. Is there any additions or corrections? Hearing and seeing none, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the December 10th, 2024 HRA board meeting minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mueller, second by Commissioner Doblinger to approve the December 10th, 2024 HRA board meeting minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please?
Chair Wooten.
Aye.
Chair Huhin.
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore. Commissioner Issei.
Aye.
And Commissioner Doblinger.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to the consent agenda. Prior to the meeting, no one had asked to remove any items for discussion. I will ask at this time, does anybody want to hold any items on the consent agenda for discussion? Seeing none, we'd be looking for a motion to approve consent items 4.1 to 4.3.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mua
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Doblinger to approve consent items 4.1 to 4.3. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, may we have the roll call vote?
Chair Wooden,
Aye.
Chair Huhin,
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller,
Aye.
Commissioner Moa, Commissioner Ise,
Aye.
and Commissioner Doblinger.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item 5, organizational business. Item 5.1, third amendment to a Brush with Kindness agreement. May we have the staff report?
Hi, good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Anna Salvador, Assistant HRA Administrator. So the item in front of you this evening is a third amendment to an existing agreement with A Brush with Kindness, which is run by Habitat for Humanity. We're going to start first with a presentation from Mike Robertson, as this is an active agreement, just to give program updates, and then I'll come back with guidance on next steps. Mike.
Wonderful, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks to the chairs, thanks to the commissioners, thanks to Anna for inviting me to come and speak with you this evening. My name is Mike Robertson. I am the program manager for Brush with Kindness, which is Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity's owner-occupied repair program. And I'm here this evening just to talk about our ongoing partnership as we consider an extension of the agreement. And all right, there we go. So just brief history of this program. It was begun in the Twin Cities in 1989 and has now served over 2,300 families since then. We've completed 13 projects in Bloomington since the partnership began a couple years ago, and we used some ARPA funding in order to start that partnership. Our focus is really on critical home repairs, but the cost of the projects in Bloomington, because the housing stock is generally in decent shape, is fairly small, about $4,000. And so we are able to use the funding to take care of the citations that the homeowner is facing, and then use some potentially additional funding to do other health and safety repairs inside and out. And we leverage our volunteer model just like we do with our home construction. We bring out groups of corporate volunteers, churches, and individuals to help do some of the less skilled work, I would say. So partnership works in a variety of ways. Bloomington is just one of several cities that we're working with in this way. We've got lots of expertise and history in owner-occupied repairs, which are a very different animal than building something new. Cities have low-income homeowners that are at risk of condemnation or forfeiture because they've got deferred maintenance. And so combining those resources preserves housing stock and prevents displacement of vulnerable residents. This is just kind of a basic flow chart of how the partnership works. Basically, the inspectors identify a client that might have a problem resolving a citation, and they refer them to us. We then work with that homeowner to develop a work scope that addresses all of the open orders. We do the income qualification on our side as well, make sure that they don't have any title issues on the property. We then can schedule and complete the project using a combination of trained staff, volunteers, and licensed subcontractors for things like plumbing or electrical work. We provide proof of completion back to the city, working with the inspectors. And then periodically we'll send a disbursement request to the city to kind of draw down that grant. The other thing that we pride ourselves on is that we have staff that are trained in social work. So oftentimes the house, we have discovered, is really just a symptom of what's happening in the homeowner's life. And so we're able to, in addition to sort of the bricks and mortar repairs, connect those residents with additional services and wraparound support. It's surprising how many folks we run into that are experiencing food insecurity. They may be eligible for government benefits that they don't know that they qualify for, and we can help them get signed up for that. They may have physical disabilities, and we can help them with accessibility modifications, or they may be open to accepting help with some mental health resources if that's appropriate as well. So the benefit for the cities that we work with and for the residents is that it stabilizes them. It's kind of, I've come to think of it over time as a homelessness prevention and anti-displacement policy. Most of the folks that we work with are 30% of area median income or less. A lot of them are older. Really, the house they're in is their only asset and their most affordable place to live. And without being able to stay there, they would likely wind up either couch surfing or in a shelter or living unsheltered. So this kind of partnership prevents condemnations and the loss of property tax revenue. It preserves the existing housing stock through critical home repair and maintenance support. And it protects single-family affordable homeownership for current and future residents. The housing stock that we have in the Twin Cities is older, but it's solid. A lot of it's been around 100 years, and we see no reason why, if it's taken care of, that it can't serve the next generation. I think that is my last slide. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Are there any questions?
Who typically identifies family or house in need?
Yeah, in Bloomington, it's the I guess I don't know what their exact title is. The environmental health inspectors, is that correct? So one of those guys will reach out to our intake person and say, I've got a client. We have them fill out kind of a referral form and get the ball rolling, and then we kind of take it from there, help the client complete the application, do the income documentation. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for that presentation. Just as a summary, too, for what is up for approval this evening. So this would be a third amendment to an existing agreement. This agreement was amended in 2022 to add or to expand the amount of money in the agreement to $75,000. And so this is the amendment before you tonight is just to extend the time period of the agreement to allow for more time to expend those funds. We see the Brush with Kindness agreement as a supplement to our other rehab loan programs, a way of expanding the amount of opportunities or options of people who we touch with home improvement dollars in the city. And again, this is a great partnership with environmental health and further enhances and spreads our help dollars as well by having this other program available that serves a similar population. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Are there any questions? Seeing and hearing no questions, we'd be looking for a motion authorizing staff to enter into a third amendment to services agreement between Twin Cities for Habitat for Humanity, Inc. and Housing and Redevelopment Authority in and for the City of Bloomington.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mueller and a second by Commissioner Doblinger to authorize staff to enter into a third amendment to services agreement between Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, Inc. and Housing and Redevelopment Authority in and for the City of Bloomington. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing no discussion, we'd be looking for the roll call vote, please.
Chair Huhi,
Aye.
Commissioner Wooden,
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mott,
Aye.
Commissioner Issei,
Aye.
and Commissioner Doblinger.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. I just wanted to make a note for the record, since it wasn't called at the beginning, that Commissioner Carter is not in attendance tonight, since her name was not called during roll call. I just wanted that clear for our recording purposes. Moving on to some discussion items. I know Administrator Abe has some exciting news for us, so I will send it to her.
Yes, Chair and Commissioners, good evening. I'm excited to announce that we have officially filled the role of our second Assistant HRA Administrator as of last Monday. And we have here today with us Mike Palermo. Mike has been with the city since 2017. He's served in a couple of different divisions, started in the planning division, has worked most recently in the port, and now is moving over to the HRA. And previously worked with the city of Duluth, lots of experience with the Community Development Block Grant, which is, as you know, is a big program run through the HRA. He has a master's in urban and regional planning and a leadership in affordable housing certificate. And so we're excited to welcome Mike to the role. Do you want to?
Is this on? Yep. Well, thank you, Mr. Abe, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight and welcome working with you all in the near future here about our projects with CDBG and our Bloomington Affordable Homeownership Program as we ramp that up. I'm sure you'll hear more about that, and I'm looking forward to our discussion tonight with the Planning Commission and just learn more about how you guys approach this work. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. Look forward to working with you. Moving on, for the discussion items, we're going to need a motion to recess until 6:30, and at that point, we will reconvene with the Planning Commission.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mua
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Issei to recess until 6:30, when we will reconvene with the Planning Commission. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote?
Chair Hugin,
Aye.
Commissioner Wooden,
Aye.
Commissioner Mueller,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Issei,
Aye.
and Commissioner Dublinger.
All right.
Motion passes 6-0. We are in recess.